about justice? What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love? Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Oh, love. So many can testify. Love, oh love, but you still can't satisfy. You keep on praying. You wish that day would come when there'll be equal rights and justice for every man. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice? What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love? Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite. What you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice? What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love? Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. And let us unite as one. Tell me what you think about justice, brother man. Oh, tell me what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are.
12 minutes moving away from the hour of 9 o'clock. We're getting ready for Policing with You, which will be coming up right after this break.
Let me see what I want for Mother's Day. You know what? I think a foot spa. That would be just right. Attention all businesses. Mother's Day is just around the corner. And it is time to show appreciation for the amazing moms in our lives. At ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, we invite you to reach out to your customers with our exclusive advertising opportunities. Capture their attention and make their Mother's Day shopping experience unforgettable. Don't miss out on this opportunity to celebrate moms and boost your sales with ZIZ. Call us at 465-2621 or visit our sales and marketing department and let us work with you to achieve your goals. ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, connecting communities every day.
I would like to stand with her
ZIZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
Oh, yo, 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 yo. I'm waiting. Oh, yo, 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 yo.
Welcome back to the morning show, and it's now time for our featured program. Every Thursday morning, it's called Policing with You. I want to say good morning to, well, is it Inspector now?
Thompson.
Is it Inspector now? Yes, Inspector Thompson in the studio. Had to make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's there. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the studio.
Good morning, Jakir. Good morning, listening audience, and welcome to another edition of Policing with You. As you heard Jakir mention, my name is Inspector Marvin Thompson, and I will be your host for this edition of the Policing with You show. This morning, I'm just gonna share a little with you about some of the laws. Specifically, I will be dealing with what is called the Small Charges Act. This is the act which most of the smaller incidents which occur on a daily basis is found. The abusive language, the bad words, the idle conduct, idle and disorderly conduct, the begging and things like that are still on the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis. So I'm just going to share or refresh our memories, as the case might be, on some of these, and then a little later, might just have an opportunity to give you the chance to give some feedback and hear your views and what you think about the laws, or if you are familiar with them and some of the penalties. So, where I want to start is with something that is fairly familiar. We say bad words or in the colloquial tongue, and in the law, we would say indecent language. Now, Section 9 of the Small Charges Act, and the Small Charges Act is Chapter 4.36. So Section 9 deals with abuse and bad language. And it says, any person who makes use of any abusive, blasphemous, indecent, insulting, profane, or threatening language in any public place or in any place to the annoyance of the public or tending to a breach of the peace. And a breach of the peace is just something that is out of the norm. So you could generally, if you are with someone and they speak a one half bad word, it's something that you might blink at. You don't really make too much noise. But when you start to get 3, 4, 5, then that tends to be a breach of the peace because you don't consider that normal. It becomes excessive. So when that occurs, in terms of the breach of the peace, or when any of these are infringed, then a person commits an offense, and you commit offense from the first. So if you swear one bad word, you already commit an offense. If you threaten somebody, if you use abusive language, like I say, you cuss out somebody, you already committed an offense. And the penalty for that, if you're found guilty, is you may be fined up to $3,500 for a bad word, eh? So if you're convicted, you may be fined up to $3,500 or imprisonment for 1 month. That is for either of the offense. For the abusive language, the indecent language, the insulting or threatening or profane language. So you insult somebody and they make a report, it's taken to court, and you're found guilty, that is the penalty, up to $3,500 or a month in prison. What we have again, and maybe not as popular as you might think, we have a practice where there's some of us who still light fires in the yard. You burn the garbage. But actually, the Small Charges Act has something that we might want to think about. It says, Section 27 says, deal with fireworks and firearms, but it says, any person who, except with the permission of the minister, it's a discharges canon, that's Section A, but Section C says, lights or assist in the lighting of any bonfire. And sometimes when we light, you normally see it on the beaches, but the beach is a public place. And you actually need permission to do the bonfire. It carries any naked flame or torch in any public place or in any neighborhood, unless it is for your job or related to your job, it shouldn't be done. Or within 100 yards of any village, city or town. You do that, you commit an offense. And the fine for that is up to $3,500. One thing that happened, drunkenness. Drunkenness is an offense. And it says, any person found drunk in any public place or on any licensed premises shall be liable to a fine not exceeding, this says $25. No, that's in the first instance. And $25 sound like nothing. Because generally, even now, it's common assault. And this is the revised edition from 2017. So this is the latest revision of the law. But it says that's on the first offense. So $25. And on a second conviction, a period of 12 months, so you get a year, and a fine of up to $2,000. So now, first time you might get a chance. Second time, it's a little more hefty. You get a year in jail and up to $2,000 if you are convicted of the offense. Now, we know in terms of if you're drunk and you're in charge of a motor vehicle, then that in itself is an offense. Not just under small charges, but also under the Traffic Act. Another practice under the small charges, you have animals in public place. And what it says is that any person who is in charge of any animal or animals in any public place who shall willfully be at such a distance from the animal or animals that you cannot have proper control over them, then you're committing an offense. So, if you have any animal, and we see a lot of the, normally when I drive in, I see people with the sheep over there, they're over there, and really and truly, you can't have any control over it, and sometimes the animal just run across the road, and that in itself is may cause danger and cause an accident. Now, if you are taken to court and you're found guilty, you may be fined up to $2,000 for that particular offense of having the animals in the public and not having proper control over them, whatever the animal is. Next, we have disorderly conduct. And what it says, that section 18 in the small charges, chapter 4.36, what it says is that any person who in any public place conduct him or herself in a disorderly manner or conduct him or herself in such a noisy manner as to disturb the neighborhood shall be liable for a fine up to $3,500 or to imprisonment for a month. It goes further in the section 1. It goes further in section 2 to say, if any person shall conduct him or herself in his own house or premises and allow any person to conduct themselves in an annoying or any manner to disturb the neighborhood repeatedly, that person can initially be warned, and if within 3 months they do it again, then they can be fined up to $3,500 or to imprisonment for 1 month. Also, section 3 of that same section, disorderly conduct, goes as far as dealing with the behavior towards funerals and ceremonies and meetings. So it says, any person who behaves himself profanely or irreverently or indecently or in any disorderly manner, or who smokes in any building appropriated for religious worship during the performance of the religious service, or in any churchyard or the cemetery during the performance of any religious service, or the interment of the dead, funeral, you're liable for a fine up to $3,500. Additionally, it says any person who willfully disturbs, interrupts, or disquiets any body of person assembled for any moral, social, or benevolent purpose by profane discourse or rude or indecent behavior, or by making noise either within the place of the assembly or near enough to disturb it, then you're liable to a fine of up to $3,500 $500. We know that in St. Kitts we are very passionate people, and that is demonstrated, I don't think, any more so than when it's around election time. But there are two pieces of legislation that speak specifically to the election, but on the small charges, it does say that any person who at any lawful public meeting acts in a disorderly manner for the purpose of preventing the transacting of the business of the meeting commits offense and is liable to a fine and conviction to a fine of up to $3,500. And if you incite, that means you encourage somebody, egg them on to go and do any of those offenses, make noise and disturb the meeting, then you are guilty of whatever the person is doing, even though you're the one who encourages them. You incite them to do it, you're as guilty as them who do it. And you shall be fined accordingly as they are. Now, annoyance in the public, that's section 11 of small charges. It says, any person who in a public place persists after being warned not to do so by any person, it doesn't reach police yet, that's anybody. Then it says a police, local or special constable who is accompanying or following the such person. So you're following the person saying behave, and you're not doing it, whether it is for the purpose of begging, soliciting alms, or employment, you might be looking at work. But if the person says leave me alone, or satisfying idle curiosity, so fasteningness, depending on how you apply it, is an offense. And annoying, then you're liable. You commit an offense and you're liable to a fine if you're convicted for the offense of up to $2,000 or imprisonment for 14 days.
You want to take a break here?
Sure, we take a break right now and we come back.
And of course, the lines will be open on the other side, 465-2555.
Oh, yo, 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 yo. Away. What?
Smart Electronics and Island Electronics, your one-stop shop for all the latest electronics and electronic repairs. Smart Electronics and Island Electronics, where you can get specials on electronic items such as tablets, laptops, computers, TVs, cameras, Fire Stick, Android boxes, Bluetooth speakers, stoves, microwaves, blenders, washing machines, cellular phones, cellular phone accessories, and so much more. They have everything electronic for you. So, you don't really need to go to St. Martin anymore. Head straight to Smart Electronics, located at Port Zante, opposite the food court. Island Electronics on 4th Street, right in the heart of Bastia. And Valuemart Complex Farms Estate in Nevis. Visit them today or call them at 466-4271, 466-7648 in St. Kitts, and 469-4270 on Nevis. Your one-stop store for all your electronic wants and needs.
Okay, welcome back to Policing With You. And as I said earlier, my name is Inspector Marvin Thompson, if you're just joining us. And we're talking about some of the offenses found under the Small Charges Act.
Before you continue, Inspector, we have two calls coming in. You want to take them?
I'll take them.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Policing With You.
Yes, I would like to say that
Hello, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Is this on the radio station or the TV station?
The radio station.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to get on there.
Oh, you're looking at the program from yesterday. That's a rebroadcast.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to make a point, actually.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, though, that program was from yesterday. We're now discussing small act charges this morning.
Oh, okay. All right, then. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Let's take this next call. Good morning.
caller.
Yeah, good morning, GQ.
Yes, good morning, Culture. Sorry,
And
sorry,
the other
Inspector.
policemen there.
Hey, good morning.
Now, I heard you read out a lot of, what you call it here, small charges offense.
Yes, sir.
One of them is anyone being found drunk in a public place.
Yes, sir.
Well, what happens when they have a cricket match in Warner Park? Let's say Warner Park. And the bar in there is open.
Yes, sir.
Will they be allowed to sell alcoholic beverage?
Of course.
When I finish, I'm going to get off here so I could understand.
Yes.
And like for instance, down by the bus terminal is a public place.
Yes, sir.
So all those booths down there were selling. They should not be selling alcohol to people in that area then. And then I come in now, the last one.
Yes, sir.
The noise that you spoke about that could disturb.
The neighborhood, yes, sir.
Right. Well, myself and others been speaking about that for years. Even the ex-minister of the government, Doyle Aspan, he spoke about that many times. And we were told by a police that they cannot stop people from making noise and playing the vehicle noise music hard. So I am glad that you're reading out these small charges. And the last thing is the government have the amount of resources to police all these offenses that would be committed. Thank you for taking my call. I'll listen out here so that someone else can get in.
All right, thank you, sir. Police it out back. All right. Well, in terms of the laws are still the laws. There are some nuances, some technicalities, especially when it pertains to, I guess, vehicles and that noise. What challenge we have met legally is in terms of the measurement. How do you measure how much noise? What we have argued from a legal standpoint is that if it is disturbing your neighbor or the person next door, then it's sufficient that the person is being disturbed and that you are committing an offense. So that while you may have a right to make noise, your noise should not infringe on anybody else's right to have some quiet. So that in and of itself is an offense. Where we have gotten the pushback technicality is in terms of that there needs to be a measurement to say how much noise, especially as it pertains to the vehicles that pass. But we still do what we can, and when we do get calls or reports to the station, or maybe persons, even from the ferry terminal, the call and say that the person is being disturbed, we go tell them to turn it down. And if it's turned down to where we consider a satisfactory level, and the person is okay, then that is it. But we still respond and at least have the conversation. In terms of the drunkenness, you still are allowed to sell alcohol, you know. You're just that if you get drunk, you commit an offense. So while the proprietors or the businesses can sell alcohol, or you go in the park and sell alcohol, as responsible adults, you drink and you manage yourself so that you're not drunk. So you can enjoy yourself, but just be mindful that you don't get drunk.
Let's go to the phone line, Inspector.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Police, good morning.
Okay, police, you got somebody that's passed down here night time, challenge us. All in the 40, the 3 o'clock. Wild load of noise in the chance. And people sleeping, waking you up. And in the day they pass, wild load of noise to listen to you, you can't hear. You tell us a noise. They could play the music, but nobody mind they play music, but not so high. And in the 40, you come with this lot of noise passing.
I agree with you.
They need to stop it. They disturb you, can't listen in your house, because they disturb you. And men I see what use, because some of them are going up,
Yes.
They just pass down. You look here, them pass back up. I know you. I don't know what happened to them.
Well, if you happen to find out who they are, who the vehicle is, you can make a report to the station and then you can take it from there.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Go ahead, caller. I'm policing with you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, it will be very much difficult to know who's driving. Very much difficult to know. So a report won't be able to be made so easy. But what I would like happen is that the police definitely should take cognizance of that and see if they can get that legislated, if it's not on the books already. Because it is really, really, really disturbing at that time in the morning. Number two, I would like you to speak to these young men who going about the place with their not having their pants on their waist, and you can actually see much more below, which I do not think it should be. I am looking at it as some degree of indecent exposure of persons. I do not know if I'm correct. So I would like you to speak to them. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you, caller. In terms of the driving, you don't necessarily need to see who is driving. If you get a number for the vehicle, then we can take it from there. The owners of vehicles are responsible for whatever happens with their vehicle. So even if I lend someone my vehicle and they do something with it, if the police gets the registration number, the license plate of that vehicle, they come to me. I am responsible for telling them what my vehicle was doing. So I would need to tell them who borrowed my vehicle, and then they take it from there. In terms of some of the other things, police don't make laws. We might like to, but we don't make laws. The laws are made by Parliament. We're responsible for enforcement. In terms of the dress of the persons, the pants off the waist, personally, I'm not a fan of it, but it doesn't reach to the extent of indecency. Indecency has to do with mostly exposure of skin and certain parts of the body. So while a male may walk on the road shirtless, and that is fine, for a woman that would not be, as long as the nipples are exposed. That is the nuance in the law, the technicality in the law. In terms of female nipples are exposed, that is indecency. Okay, go ahead. Take next call. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, Sergeant Inspector Thompson.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I'm calling you up from New York. I was born in the Federation.
So
what happens if I come home for Christmas on
Yes,
Sugar
sir.
Mass?
Morning.
And I'm up the park and I get inebriated. I get drunk as long as I'm not causing no disturbance. Would I be charged too?
Not necessarily. It's not hard and fast, and generally when we enforce some of those, like the drunkenness, is normally either to prevent incidents from occurring or to stop an incident from continuing. So if you are nice, like we say, and you're drunk, yes, but you're there and you're just sitting down and cheering, generally nobody interferes with you.
Okay, nice to know. And congratulations again,
Thank you, sir.
Inspector Marvin Thompson. You're a good friend of my brother, Jam Down.
Thank you, sir. Hi, sir.
All GQ.
All right, Sonny Boy. You have another caller, Inspector.
Hey, go ahead, caller. You're on policy with you.
Hi, Pleasant, good morning.
Good morning.
I like the program, but I would like to ask a question.
Go ahead, sir.
There are some policemen who just have on their plain clothes, and you probably would not recognize they are policemen because of the plain clothes.
Yes, sir.
And they are breaking the law. Would it be right for if I'm breaking the law, for them to come and tell me about breaking the law? And they're doing it too?
I would answer you this way. I'll say yes. I'll follow up with this. We had a training last week, and the presenter was speaking about our legal authority and the moral authority. Now, she was saying in terms of when you're doing wrong and then enforcing for somebody else. So I am driving, speeding, and then when I'm going to work now, speeding going to work, when I get to work, I'm stopping somebody for speeding and giving them a ticket. Now, I have legal authority to do that. But because I'm infringing on the same law, now I'm giving somebody the ticket for, I don't have moral authority. It doesn't stop me from giving the person the ticket, because that is my duty, and I have authority to do it. But what works best is if the laws that we're enforcing, we are keeping.
Okay. That is well said.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate that.
All right,
And I realized one time, you know, I was doing something. Some person was driving going, and there was an officer in the police vehicle talking to somebody in the street, out of the vehicle, preventing me from passing. So I just blew me on, and it was like a young lady that was talking to, so, you know, it was not really any police in work. You could tell where this is something different.
Yes.
And they had some disrespectful things to get on with me. I mean, I let them see my face because I'm a senior citizen. And why would they behave like that? I just shake my head and drive off, because why would I go to report that person when I know that it could have been something could be avoided, because he could have just let me pass or just took me hard when I took my horn, but he had something to say, I just leave it there. And the police are supposed to be looking out for us. And I too, I'm not a police officer.
Yes, sir.
I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I do look out for the police. If I see something that the police should know, I do not be afraid to call them and tell them. Okay? Because I am a law-abiding citizen in this country.
And
okay?
we appreciate that, sir.
I love the police, whether young or old, as long as they get into the system. I appreciate them, and I love them because they're there to protect and look out for us. And I will do the same for you all.
All right, thank you, sir. And don't be afraid to go, and if you feel offended in any way, to have a word with somebody else. Might be something that we could correct. Because we work for you, we want to work with you, and we work for you. So it works better when we work together.
Yes, I understand. But on the other hand, you
Yes,
feel
sir.
like if you put in that, if you do that, right, you'll be putting someone, maybe their job or points in jeopardy. And I don't want to do that, because I want young people to get the full potential of their lifespan coming up doing what they're supposed to do.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, but we have a responsibility as officers to try to do our best. And, well, if you don't want to have a word with a senior authority, try and have a word with the officer.
Okay, appreciate that. Thanks.
All right, sir.
And I will text them with their camera mode. Not at the same
Hi,
time.
sir.
Please do.
All right.
Please do.
Okay, thank you.
That's going to be your final call for this morning. Inspector, back to you.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Policing with you.
Yes, go ahead. You're the final call. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
A bit of clarification here, please. I didn't really mean that the police can in fact make laws, but it's to refer the matter to the lawmakers. That's number one. As regards to the noise, right? Well, something like that. And number two, that also refer the matter of what happened to be look like indecent. What, by law, the technicalities, as you say, is not indecent. I think that the police can also take that to the lawmakers, because it doesn't look good in truth. It's just not looking good. So definitely, I would like the police to take these matters to the lawmakers and see if something can take place as regards to decency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And we can do that, and we do. And what works best is when we have the support of the public, who says, okay, these are what we think matters in terms of what the law, or what we think should be law. And the politicians work for you. They work for the people. So you go to your representative and you state your grievances or the things that you would like to see change, and it is their responsibility to listen and see where they can go in terms of what your grievances are. But like I said, in terms of the police, while we may take and have a conversation with the lawmakers for the things, the laws that we think need changing, adjusting one way or the other, our primary duty is enforcement. And the citizenry also have a duty in terms of assisting the police with the enforcement, because at the end of the day, we are working for the community, and the more input you have in your safety, the better it is for all of us. So I want to thank you for joining us today on Policing With You, and we hope that you'll join us again next week for another edition, and we always welcome your input and your feedback. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Inspector Thompson, saying have a blessed day.
Think about Christ, made their sacrifice now.
Said I said wait.